of the event, past presidents, council members of Institution of Engineers, past chairmen, past honorary secretaries, members of Telangana State Central Committee, Institution of Engineers India, corporate members of IEI, distinguished guests, representatives of media, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I feel it is a great privilege and honor to be amidst this virtual August gathering and extend a warm and hearty welcome to the today's chief guest and speaker and all of you to this World Habitat Day. Today, I am very happy to be associated with this memorable event, and I would like to say a few words about Telangana Research Center, and proud to announce that the Telangana Research Center of the Institution of Engineers India is the only and the first center out of 125 centers in the country which is awarded with ISO certification in the history of 102 years of the Institution of Engineers India. And Telangana State Center is one of the most active centers of IEI, which engage successfully in translating the objectives, mission, and vision of the Institution of Engineers India into practice. Within its formation of 2 years, it has bagged 2 times the Best State Center Award, and it has been playing a very important role in the dissemination of information and engineering and contemporary technology, bringing industry and academia experts and professionals together on the same platform by regularly organizing international conferences. Thank you, sir. Organizing international conferences, national conventions, all India seminars, conferences, workshops, and roundtable conferences, panel discussions throughout the year, almost one program every third day. World Habitat Day is held on the first Monday of October and launches urban October. The day centers around the global observance, which held in a different country each year with keynote speakers and roundtable discussions focused on the specific theme. World Habitat Day, that is was first celebrated in near Nairobi at Kenya, and with the theme, first theme was the shelter is my right. And in the year 1922, the World Habitat Day, under the theme Mind the Gap, leave no one and place behind, will look at the problem of growing inequality and challenges in the cities and human settlements. We want to draw attention to growing inequalities and vulnerabilities that have been exacerbated by the CCC crisis, COVID-19, climate and conflict. The pandemic and the recent conflicts have reversed years of progress made in the fight against the poverty, resulting in the emergence of newly poor people, those who would have exited poverty in the absence of the pandemic but remain poor, and those who have fallen into poverty on account of the pandemic. According to the United Nations Habitats World City Report, the number of people affected was between 119 and 124 million in the year 2020 and between 143 to 163 million in the year 2021. Tackling urban poverty and inequality have become an urgent global priority. Cities and local governments play a frontline role in responding to crises and emergencies, as well as in planning for an inclusive, resilient, and green future. To prepare urban areas for future catastrophes, we need to start with the cities, such local action and local implementation of sustainable development goals is a more important than ever. Today, Telangana State Center is arranged World Habitat Day and Mind the Gap, leave no one and place behind on virtual mode. I know you're waiting anxiously to hear the eminent speaker engineer Devanand. So I am limiting myself and hope that you will really enjoy his talk. On behalf of the Telangana State Center of the Institution of Engineers, India, and on my own behalf, I once again extend a hearty welcome to the Chief Guest and Speaker Engineer M. Devanand, FIE, Chief Engineer, GHMC Hyderabad, and all of you to this important event. Thanks, one and all. Now, may I request the today's convener of the event, Engineer M. Srinivasarao garu, to kindly introduce today's chief guest and speaker, and before the speaker addresses. And over to Engineer M. Srinivasarao garu.
Thank you, Chairman Sir. Greetings, good evening, everybody. It's a great privilege to introduce the today's chief guest and speaker, Mr. M. Devanand Garu. Devanand Garu is a fellow Institute of Engineers. He is currently Chief Engineer Projects working for Public Health and Municipal Engineering Department, Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation of Corporation. He is a master's in Public Health Engineering from All India Institute of Hygiene and Public Health, Calcutta, from 1994. He's a BTech in Civil Engineer from JNTC, passed in 1988. He's also LLB from Osmania, 2016. Sir has very rich experience. He has been working in the urban infrastructure sector in the government for more than 35 years. He initially started working for urban local bodies for about 15 years, providing basic civic services, including water supply. He worked as faculty for 3 years in Department of Social and Preventive Medicine in Usmania Medical College, Hyderabad, during the period 1993 to 96. After that, he worked for about 8 years from 1996 as Deputy General Manager Engineering in Hyderabad Metropolitan Water Supply and Sewage Board. He revamped and refurbished the Manjira water supply system and supplied additional 10 MGW water to twin cities of Hyderabad when there was an acute shortage of water in the city prior to coming up Krishna water supply project. He also worked as procurement specialist for the World Bank projects for 3 years during starting 2010 in the capacity of superintendent engineer. Sir also has worked as superintendent engineer PH for 5 years from 2016, overseeing the water supply and sewage projects and other infrastructure projects in around 95 ULBs in 15 districts. He is currently working as chief engineer from 2021 in GHMC, looking after the major infrastructure projects like SRDP, SNDP, actually. So thank you, sir. It's a great pleasure to welcome you for the meeting. Please take the session, sir, on this World Habitat Day. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. And also with high regards to all my senior colleagues who are participants here. In fact, a lot has been said about me, but I'm comparatively very junior to most of the participants, all of the participants, I can say. Well, today I am asked to speak on this World Habitat Day about the theme of this day. As we all know, the theme of the day or today's theme is has been already repeated by our previous speakers. That is about urban habitat to mind the gap and leave no one and no place behind. This basically emphasizes about the urban habitat and where urban poor are the major affected party. I would say Telangana is after bifurcation of the state, Telangana has become the most urbanized state, I can say. Similar states are, we can of course talk about Delhi. Chandigarh of course is a union territory still now. Delhi is a state, but because of its the capital of the country in place, it has its own uh, advantages and disadvantages and different problems altogether. On similar lines, Telangana with Hyderabad centric development has become a major, I can say, urban state. In fact, the average urban population across the country is around 35%, whereas as of now, the urban population of Telangana is around 47%, and it is likely to reach 67% by the year 2036. We are already 12 million, 1.2 crore population as far as the GHMC and surroundings are concerned. And as we
Sir,
all
excuse
know,
me, sir.
pardon?
Sir, presentation PPT కావట్లేదు sir.
Yeah, presentation. అంటే presentation కనిపించట్లేదా?
లేదు సార్, షేర్ చేయండి సార్.
Just let me try again, but it is there on my. I'll see.
Okay, sir. Now, okay.
Now
Getting.
it is visible.
Please, sir. Please continue, sir.
Okay, right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So, in fact, my slide is yet to start. This is only a starting this thing. So, as we, ours being the most urbanized state, the problems with, as we all know, just let me. As we all know, in any urban environment, poor are the most vulnerable sect of population. When it comes to any services, either from the side of the government or from the private or public, poor will be left behind. This is the very basic thing what we know. And this has become more so with the after the pandemic of COVID. So the population, which is borderline population, also has drifted down into the vulnerable group with the pandemic of COVID-19, and added to that, and conflict and climate have made a certain borderline population. They have pushed the borderline population into poor poverty also. So, as far as housing is concerned, we have 17 SGDs, as we all know, which were declared by the United Nations in 2015. Target was to achieve those 17 by the year 2030. Among the 17 at serial number 11 is about the sustainable cities and communities, and the official mission of SGD 11 is to make cities inclusive, safe, reliant, and sustainable. I'll just brief about, sub topics about SG. This is a broad thing what I do, and only sub topics are access for all to adequate, safe, affordable housing and basic services to upgrade slums. And these slums to be development has to be inclusive and sustainable, and capacity to participate. It should be a participatory and integrated and sustainable development. And another thing is to develop implement integrated policies. It is not just building a housing colony or something like that of that sort, but it should totally woven into the society. ultimately the working class, whoever are the habitats of the slum, have to find their way day to day for their day to day working needs and all. So most of the in most of the cases, what we see is we in weaker we had several programs as a government. We had several programs of housing like weaker section housing and Vambe housing. All these were just were a number, remained a number, was constructing such and such numbers, but uh, we have already witnessed most of the weaker section houses are located away from the town or away from the village, uh, uh, dividing them with basic amenities and all. So here the idea is to integrate and develop as an integral part of the town, so that here in GHMC, we have taken up a program called 2BHK program, but we call it as a dignity housing project. You all might be knowing that. So, what my, I mean, uh, I just want to introspect and also throw light for discussion, if at all the participants here. So, by doing this dignity housing project, uh, how far the goal of HDD 11, that is inclusive housing, and the theme of the day, that is mind the gap, leave no one and no place behind, has been answered by this project. Let us just go through that. Just brief what about the project, and we can again even for which is nothing different from Hyderabad. The basic thing is the adequate lack of adequate shelter. The per capita area of occupancy is uh, far below the requirement, minimum requirement. That is all what we know in we witness in the slums and all. And not having access to reliable basic services. We all know all urban slums are somehow. I mean, government is making headway in providing services, but still they are lacking behind. So, access, not having access to reliable basic services, and these are somewhere say like housing projects, weaker section housing projects. They are remotely located, far away from their place of earning livelihood. So this is another lacuna in main this thing. And logistics, if at all they are away from this, logistics and public transport is a big challenge from their habitat to their workplace or working environment where they earn their livelihood. And another thing we all know, but may not discuss openly, but because in all the slums we have local dumps. They some fellow who is powerful will become a don like uh, fellow, and he starts squeezing money from the local poor people for uh, uh, either for renting or for staying or for owning whatever piece of land or whatever it is. So we all see those things. So these are all the challenges the urban poor are facing in as far as uh, uh, their habitat or what do you call shelter is concerned. Uh, when I talk about dignity housing project of GHMC, how it is different from general normal projects that we have previously taken up or taken up by other uh, parallel programs somewhere in other governments, or you can say. First of all, thing is every housing, even EW, reconstruction housing were all having a beneficiary contribution. In this particular 2 BHK project, these all the complete shelter is free of cost, and it is for all the people who are below poverty line. So a survey has been done in the year 2014 to actually that slide will come later, so that we will discuss later also. So next is earlier, as I said, there used to be a beneficiary contribution and a bank loan component also were there, which proved unsuccessful in most of the cases. And another thing is that, as I said, they were located far away from the town or village, and they were striven apart, and they were not connected, or they were not provided with basic facilities, and they were not integrated with the general pool of the town or a village or a community. So they always remained alien to the main thoroughfare of the society. So the main objectives of this dignity housing project is that to make efforts to slum-free cities to the extent possible, to make slums free. I mean, to make the slums convert into a dignified housing colonies. So towards that, we have done a lot of things that I can share later in later slides. And provision of dignified housing, and that is, I mean to say, it is not just one room tenant or something like that. Adequate 2 bedrooms, kitchen, hall, and also with 2 toilets. This has been the standard model which has been followed. So it is that is why we call it as a dignified housing. Next is housing as a basic right without any beneficiary contribution. Of course, as I said previously, there is no beneficiary contribution in this 2 BHK housing project is concerned. In fact, as per survey in GHMC, there are around 4.5 lakh. There is a demand for 4.5 lakh dwelling units out of the survey that was made in 2014. Under phase 1, administrative sanction was given for 1 lakh units at a project cost of 8,598, say around 9,000 crores, and around 65,000 units are completed as of now. This is the statistics I wanted to share. Number of notified slums are 1179, non-notified altogether it is 1476. Around 1500 slums are there in GHMC, and around 4.06 lakh population, 4.06 lakh number of households are there, and population is around 20 lakhs. The survey is made in 2014, Sakala general survey, something like that, and out of what the demand was 4.57 lakhs. Was the under phase 1 we are hoping to go for a 1 lakh units, out of which 65,000 have been completed, and some of them are given possession and some of them are yet to be given. This is the status of ownership in GHMC slums. So around 46 to almost 90% are either by state government or by other government lands. This is the present occupation of the urban slums, rest being very minimal. And number of structure wise, the percentage of structure wise is Pakka are 46%, Kacha 10%, and Semi Pakka 44%. So this Kacha and Semi Pakka is what we are concentrating. Under phase 1, we have taken up 1 lakh houses. There are 2 types of development that we are envisaging here. One is institute development, another is development afresh on a vacant land. So as far as institute development is concerned, already slums are there, already they are having official or unofficial or land holding, physical possession is there. Whether they are legally holding the land or plot or not is an issue, again case by case. But as we all know, developing an in situ slum into a better place is always welcome, because their present habitat, their all the facilities, what I mean, the slum usually will be somewhere inside or nearby the, it will be part of the city. So if we develop then and there itself, it will be a more welcome to those. But again, as we know, all will not be holding equal share of land. Some will be having more land, some will be having less land. So all these things had to be, we have to involve NGOs and also specific motivators to bring them on one by consultation. We have brought them all of them and convinced them that in their place in the present slum, we are going to build them with their new houses so that they can have a better life. These are the photographs. I think are these slides visible or still they are small? I don't know. Mahesh. Hello. Am I audible or not?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah.
Slides
Thank
are
you.
visible partly. But
Okay.
we can go ahead.
So these are some of the photographs which where the consultation was going on, motivation and consultation was going on before taking up a in situ housing projects. So these are two types of projects what we have taken up. In situ projects are at 40 locations. So 40 in situ slums are developed into housing colonies, better housing colonies, and 71 locations are new locations where government land or whatever land has been pulled up with the coordination of the all agencies, and so that's how there are two major things. In fact, the very beginning, we have developed IDH colony in Mushirabad constituency. So there, the entire there was already there was a housing. It was a housing colony, but the structures were so old that they have come. They have been declared as dangerous structures and not fit for human uh, occupation. So they were dismantled totally and again rebuilt. And that IDH colony was shown to those who to build confidence in the in those in the new slum where we are taking up in situ slum. So these are some of the as I said, beneficiary share is 0. So land pooling strategy is by counseling. Tsunami approach is nothing but all the departments, stakeholder departments going as a team to that slum, because individual, whether it is a GHMC or police or revenue, if they go individually, they will not be able to give a proper dimension to that, because all the stakeholder departments are going together and counseling them is one that is called tsunami approach. So giving them assurance of common position certificate is one which has been assured. So basic civic amenities like primary health centers, now they are called Basti Dawakhanas. There we have put a lot of them. So all the things that are needed like water harvesting structures, greenery and flowers. Maintenance mechanism is wherever big housing projects have come up, like in Kollur, Rampalli, such areas, where there is a quite sufficient land. There, even shopping malls and are also built, so that revenue coming out of them is partly recovered. Maintenance expenditure recovered from the revenue model. So another thing is that while these in this project, the structures are ranging from ground +3 to cellar, stilt, and up to 9 floors. So totally around 11 floors, up to the third 3 floors to 11 floors is the range with which we have taken up the housing. So while doing that, we have attempted and tried with shear wall technology in some projects, precast concrete building construction, precast module in another few projects. So depending upon the developers who have come up, so we have tried these things successfully. And most of the projects we have used this fly ash bricks and PPC cement so that to comply with the Ministry of Environment, and also to reuse the whatever the waste that has been created. So linking infrastructure, every project that we have developed, we have provided with adequate water supply, sewerage connections, power supply, and road and whatever connectivity. It's not just building a colony of houses. We have provided in Kollur. You might have seen there is a sewerage treatment plant also. STPs are also built specifically, not septic tanks. Specific STPs are also built. So next is in the very beginning, there was a very lukewarm response. In fact, for many of the times, when the tenders were floated, there was no response to tenders. So we had to give some incentives like relaxing certain conditions, lowering the uh, uh, retention fees and all. So like that, we have somehow made the even builder association also we have involved. So that's how we pulled in the builders to get into this housing projects. And each minimum of 560 square feet with 2 bedrooms, hall and kitchen, and with 2 toilets is the plan that has been given by Architectural Fine Arts University. So that is how we have gone ahead. I'm sharing you a little bit some of the innovative technologies. First one is a shear wall technology with monolithic aluminum formwork. This is done in Dindigal for 2 stilt plus 9 pattern building, and next is precast technology has been attempted again at Dindigal. Out of 3,396 units, 1512 units are built like this. And another shear wall technology by using tunnel form work. This is partially prefabricated. This is not prefabricated, in fact, it is cast in stone only, but tunnel form is used so that to minimize the time completion of project. This has been adopted, and this is at Rampalli. So this is the pattern. I mean, this is the how within GHMC limits there are 40 locations which are in situ. All in situ projects are within GHMC limits. On vacant lands, 7 projects with so many units, and altogether around 15,000 units are within GHMC, which have been developed. And between GHMC and ORR, between GHMC and ORR, of course, as I said, this is beyond GHMC limits. No in-situ houses here. In vacant lands, 32 locations, around 50,000 units have been built. And outside ORR also, GHMC is given the task of developing houses outside GHMC. I mean, outside ORR. Up to certain limit in the districts of Medchal, Rangareddy, etc. So this in 22 locations, around 35. Altogether, we have targeted to develop 1 lakh units, out of which we have completed around 65,000 units, and 35,000 are under various stages. Few of them, of course, are under dispute, and we don't know when they see light of the day. Another breakup of is district wise. It is Hyderabad, Rangareddy, Medchal, and Sangareddy. This is the pattern of in situ and vacant lands and total. I think this is just an overview of that. I'll just be sharing the in situ. This is a Singam Cheruvu Tanda. This is a before and after picture. Next one is Yerukala Nacharam Basti in LB Nagar. This is another in situ project. Jai Bhavani Nagar Institute. This is another in situ project. before and after. Syed Sabka Bada in Yakatpura. This is another institute before and after. Khidki Bodh Ali Shah. This is again in Old City. And Chittarama Basti in Kutubullapur. All these, up to this point, they were all institute housing projects. And these are on fresh lands, fresh vacant places. This is in Medchal constituency, Ahmedguda, 4,428 units. This is in Pochampalli, 1620 units. This is around 4,000 units in Dindigal, again Kutubullapur constituency. Again Kutubullapur constituency. Bahadurpalli. Jakapura constituency, Aminpur, Patancheru, Kutubullapur. This is Karwan near Jiaguda in Karwan. This is Shankarpalli, Chevella 1 constituency. Again, second project in Shankarpalli 2. That is again Chevella constituency. Maheshwaram, Mankhal 2. This is Bachapalli of Medchal constituency. This is again Rampalli. This is where tunnel form centering was adopted. So this is again 6,240 units with shear wall, tunnel form centering. Yedunagalapalli in Patancheru, again here 1944 units. Muraharipalli of Medchal constituency 2,484 units. Kollur 1 2,052 units. 15,660. This is the biggest housing single point housing project in our 2 BHK dignity housing project, where 15,660 units are located at one place. So this is going to be a future township, I believe, because 15,660 means around 1 lakh population will be there that will be residing in the near future. So these are all the housing projects institute as well as fresh and developed on new vacant lands we have taken up. This is again Medchal constituency, Maheshwaram constituency. And some of the awards we bagged, I just want to share. That is Prime Minister's Award for Excellence for excellent implementing the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. For these 1 lakh units under PMAY, we have been given a sanction of 1,500 crore at the rate of 1.5 lakh per unit, out of which 600 crores are released as on today, and yet 900 crores we are yet to receive from Government of India. So, Telangana Excellence Award for GHMC for land pooling. The HUDCO Award 2010 for outstanding contribution in housing sector by HUDCO. Again, HUDCO Award in 2019-20 for best practices to improve the living environment under housing for Kollur 2 project. So these are some of the this is what I have right now. Can I?
Excellent, sir. Thank you for a very good presentation. Indeed, you have showcased us your experience, and congratulations for all the awards you have got. Very proud of you, sir. Thank you so much. Any questions anyone has, please feel free to ask.
Well, to wrap up, I would say, sir, in fact, the outcome of the project is yet to be assessed by an independent agency or an independent consultant. It is not that we say great about ourselves. In fact, the results of this project, in fact, I think it will take some more time somebody to assess about the how far the project was successful and how far we were able to meet the goals, goal number 11 of inclusive housing. That's what I can say. We are yet to wait and see, sir, about this. I can't say that we have done a great job. We are yet to see because we are. One thing is that this project is at most important for us, the state being a highly urbanized state. So this, as we all know, we have a dynamic minister who have been following it up by all means, and without whose support we would have not come to this stage. Well, can I take questions, sir, if at all they are there?
I have one
Hi,
question.
Devanand sir. Good evening.
Very good evening, sir.
Venkatesham, I am Venkatesham Devanand.
Namaste, namaste, Venkatesham sir. Please.
నమస్తే సార్.
Very proud of you. చాలా సంతోషం మీరు నేను
నా పేరు
చూశాను
వెంకటేశ్వర గుప్తా సార్.
హలో రమేష్ భయ్య.
సార్ నేను ఒక ఆర్గనైజేషన్ సార్ నాది ఎన్జిఓ.
Oh,
హలో సార్, ప్రెజెంటేషన్ చాలా బాగుంది సార్.
thank you, thank you. In fact, the whole project was handled by Suresh Kumar, my senior colleague.
మా ఫ్రెండ్ అలుఫోమ్ మీద వర్క్ చేస్తున్నాడు సార్, ఇదే సబ్జెక్ట్ మీద. అలుఫోమ్, అల్యూమినియం కాయిల్స్.
Okay, okay, yeah. Yes. Fine.
అన్న నమస్తే.
గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ దేవనా, డాక్టర్ రమణ నాయక్, నమస్తే.
కలుద్దాం అన్న.
Namaste, sir.
చాలా బాగా చెప్పారు. వెరీ వెరీ గుడ్ ప్రెజెంటేషన్. కంగ్రాట్స్.
మన టీఆర్ రాలేదు మీరు?
వచ్చాను. టీఓ గుడ్ నా కరెక్ట్ కరెక్ట్. అవును,
మన జయేష్ గాంజన్ వచ్చిండు, మన మిల్లెట్స్ కూడా లాంచ్ చేసిండు.
చెప్పారు థ్యాంక్ యూ విల్ జాయిన్ టుమారో. థ్యాంక్స్ అన్న.
మన దాంట్లో చేసామే బాగుండ్లా.
చేయాలి.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Shall we conclude, sir?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see you, Devanand bhai.
Thank you,
Bye.
thank you for
Yes, sir.
coming.
Thank you once again for the presentation, sir.
Congrats,
Congress
Srinivas.
Secretary, sir, Venkat Subbaya garu. Please convey the vote of thanks, sir.
And Srinivas garu ekkada on the way lo unna driving చేస్తున్నావా?
Yes, sir. Sorry for that.
నో ప్రాబ్లం. పక్కన ఆపుకోండి.
This advantage having for Zoom.
Venkat Subbaya garu unnara? Can you please go ahead with your vote of thanks, sir?
Not there, I think. You see, the participant, she is not there.
Sir, good evening to all of you, sir. So it is my pleasant duty to perform vote of thanks. Sir, respected chief guest, Engineer M. Dayanand,
దేవానంద్ సార్.
Engineer V. Brahma Reddy, FIE Chairman IA Telangana State Center, Engineer M. Srinivas Rao, Committee Member and Convener of today's event, Professor Dr. Ramna Nayak, our committee members, corporate members, and council members of IEA Telangana State Center, and all the participants who have made it convenient. Good evening to all of you. On behalf of the Telangana State Center and on my own behalf, I convey my sincere and the chief guest and Engineer M. Devanand for his excellent lecture on the theme of today's function, that is Habitat Day. So thank you, sir. I also thank all the dignitaries, past chairmen, past honorary secretaries of IEA Telangana State Center, council members, corporate members, and committee members of Telangana State Center, and all the participants and senior members of our IEI who made it convenient to attend this event. I also thank the media for always extending their support in publishing this matter, all these celebrations of our II in newspapers. Thanks to one and all. Now I request all of you kindly stand for national anthem. Mahesh, start national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे